Alright, let's go ahead and get started, guys, with a brand new next installment of the PoE play session. So, really quick though, one guy just bought an item for 1 Chaos Orb, so we have 2 Chaos Orbs now. Not a big deal right here, that's the only thing that's really happened. This actually just happened while I was trying to set up my stream. So it's perfect timing. Anyways, Act 9, let's go ahead and continue. So, starting right off, where do we actually go to exit? Well, we're just going to not go to the Blood Aqueduct, we're actually going to go up over here, and you're going to go up all the way around. And we will exit at the top right over here called the Descent. So let's go. Let's go click on all the strong boxes if we see any, because they maybe give us some good rewards. I also feel like this league isn't really that rewarding at all in terms of what we're getting, but it's going to get buffed. I was just actually watching some feedback videos from other content creators for this league, and so we're getting some buffs, but overall I would say this league is not going to be super beginner friendly for the new mechanic, but it's okay. I didn't really want to mess around with the new mechanic as a main source of fun. I just wanted to see the new T17 maps and see the new bosses that they added. To me, that's where I get my fun. The league mechanic is basically you put down the bodies inside the little, like, you know, the grave holes, and then you can craft something. Most of the stuff that you get is all, like, bad. So with the Descent, you're just literally, like, going to the next zone. It's nothing special here. But what I think they needed to do is just make it so certain items, especially at the lower, like, area, you could get maybe some deterministic guaranteed, like, upgrades. And I'm not even talking about getting, like, tier 1, like, elemental damage, but, like, just, like, some sort of corpse that says guaranteed, you know, very, very low tier elemental damage, like one, like, you know, or you can get one that has increased physical damage, increased flat damage or something, just like a bunch of stuff that people could use in the very beginning. So now we're in the Vastry Desert. Oh, we got frozen. We should ideally look for a flask that can remove freeze. That'd be really good to get. But yeah, I saw like the patch notes for this league briefly. It was all buffs, and it's gonna make it so like there's less bad stuff that you can get. Like they roll higher, but I'll be honest, you're gonna have to use like a secondary website for most of the stuff if you want to engage with the new content. Which, what it's gonna come down to is someone's gonna figure it out, and they're gonna post on Reddit or as a YouTube video. This is how you craft this guaranteed item, but it'll be guaranteed a 7 out of 10. Like you're guaranteed like tier maybe 1, 2, 3, but you won't be guaranteed tier 1 potentially because it just requires like way too much. So we're gonna defeat these mummies over here. This is an objective that we can do for a quest. You'll see it as you progress. Just like these little tornadoes here. Crit modifies. I don't know if it's good to pick up the things now, but most of the stuff in the earlier game is just absolutely worthless for the little corpses. And the reason why is there's like tiers, and it just doesn't have the correct tiers that you want. You only want the higher ones. And because in the lower areas in the game, you can spend 1 Chaos Orb or Orb of Alchemy and get something pretty good. Like you get just some random unique that's going to absolutely dunk on whatever they have to offer. But we can take it to the NPC real quick, and I'll show you guys what we get for the reward. So we just talked to Beatrice. So this one, you just get a random reward. It doesn't really matter at all.
Bye.
So this one, you don't really need to do, just destroy it. That thing is not necessary at all, but that's what we get as a reward. So there's a bunch of rewards in this game that I think are kind of worthless. The only good ones are like the ones where it gives you like maybe a gem that would cost you like an alg, but it doesn't really matter too much. But what we're looking for is a way to cross this, so we're gonna have to talk to Sin. He'll tell us that we need to get a certain item. We're gonna have to get the Basilisk Acid. Just going to be in the next zone. So we're just gonna keep going. So this is a mechanic called Betrayal, which you can kill some monsters, and then eventually you get these items with alien text, and then you get to kind of choose 1 out of 3 random rolls on it. But it's used for high-end level crafting, which I don't really think it's smart to engage with as a beginner player, so we won't really go over that right now. I think the only good crafting method that I can suggest, and I'll kind of explain it since we're just kind of moving along here in the campaign. Balarak, what we will do for crafting that I think is very beginner friendly, and it's the only real form of crafting that I actually think is good that a beginner can learn instantly. So we get an item that is called Fractured. Now a fractured item is an item that has the roll on it, and even if you change the stats, that one will always be on it. In Path of Exile, you can craft one mod on it basically for free. Now it's not going to be the best one, but you can get some attack speed on it, and it's a pretty solid roll as far as what you can get. So what we're looking for is just any sort of bow. Ideally there are like certain ones that you can go for to prioritize certain things, like a thicket bow or whatever. There are certain ones that you may want, but basically you just want a bow that has any fracture of just some sort of element. So that's cold, fire, lightning, but it has to be a very high one. If it's not a high one, then basically not useful. But basically that will be guaranteed. We can buy that. Sometimes you can get it for just a couple chaos orbs. Then we use what's called an essence, and then it's another guaranteed the highest roll that you can get on a like a tier 1 cold, fire, lightning. So it has cold, fire, lightning again, and then you have to randomly hit one, and the chances of it are pretty slim to hit not only the roll of the last one, which would be cold, fire, lightning, but that will work off the essence. And I'll explain all this later, but basically we're guaranteed 2 out of the 3 stats that we really need. The other one, I mean, suffixes on bows aren't the most important for some builds. Like Tornado Shot, you definitely want to have additional arrows, but that's where it gets pretty RNG and it's that kind of good luck. But for relatively cheap, we're going to be guaranteeing ourselves 6 links in this league. It's basically 1 divine will get you a 6 link of whatever you need, because it's just 1 craft. And it might get cheaper. Okay, important part. So while we're at the foothills, we're going to go towards the Boiling Lake, and we do want to get this waypoint over here because we're going to be needing it for later. So we're going to go to the Boiling Lake, and this is where the Basilisk is going to be. It's a chicken. It's a giant chicken boss, and this will drop a item that we're going to need to take into a furnace. But with this boss fight, what you want to do is, when it looks at you directly, what you want to do is you want to move away from looking at him directly. It's kind of like Medusa. What happens? Let's grab this thing over here. It's kind of like Medusa, where if you stare into their eyes, you will become frozen. Or in this case, it's turned to stone. But it's a pretty easy boss. I mean, everything's just melting anyways. I think we were getting accuracy, right? There was... there's extra accuracy over here as well. Ooh, there's the Basilisk. Huh. Put in skill points while fighting, no problem. I think there was another set of accuracy that we were getting that was also going to give us resistances, but another 30% might put us over the threshold. 2893. Oh, we're at the point where we're getting that bonus. I think. Let me double check. That 15% just got us over. But we're still going to need to get more accuracy. So I want that additional arrow, but we need to maintain that high accuracy. And at level 66, we're going to be able to use that brand new bow. So we're going to grab this. And let me see if this one actually gives us that massive damage, because our damage over here is 1088. Now, you don't have to refund this, because you might not need it. Okay, perfect. So that one does get us over that. I just wasted a refund passive, but it's fine. It's not that big a deal. Just wanted to make sure that that would give us that little bump that we need to get a huge amount of extra damage. It's 40% more damage. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the foothills, and instead of going on the right side, which gives us the Basilisk acid, we're going to go on the left side, which is going to be the next zone. But hello Nexus, how you doing? This is Kill Boulderback. It can give you a quest reward. Since we're already here, I can show you guys what it gives you, and you can decide if it's worth it or not. Most of the quest rewards are pretty garbage unless you're like not gonna engage with the trade and like you're like, oh man, I really need a yellow item. But if you really need a yellow item, you can use the new like league mechanic to get it. So this one just gives you 2 passive respec points, which I mean it's not bad. it's definitely like a useful thing if you want to refund your, points, you want to move some stuff around later, as we will definitely do that. But you can get these things called Orb of Regrets later when we actually do respec and go crit if we decide to go crit. More than likely we will go crit. It's usually always going to be better towards the end of the game, but in the earlier stages, because it's just too hard to get all these big crit rolls. So, important thing with this area called the tunnels, there is a Trial of Ascendancy here. Oh, this one freezes us and it detonates. Oh my gosh, I was like 1000% sure we were dead. That was crazy luck that we survived. Wow. Genuinely impressed that we survived that. We can maybe talk about cluster drills later. I'm going to hit it with an Alk, see if we maybe RNG get something good. I was like, for sure we're dead right there. So this one has gems as one of the tags. I want to get to the Trial of Ascendancy, which is all the way around. Oh, whoa. Or actually, are we on the trial right now? We could be on the trial. I don't know if I clicked on the open. But if the monsters are too hard, pick up all the cluster jewels. You can sometimes sell them. I can't even see where these traps are, genuinely. These are really low. If you really want to get Gem Cutter's Prisms, it is a way to get them. And it's actually not bad now since they made Gem Cutter's Prisms super rare. Oh, that we were actually doing that. Okay. All right. So we have one more
in the left hand.
Area to go to Ascend, which is going to be the last one. And that'll be our third Ascendancy. Nice. So we're going to get to the end game today. Tidal Island Quicksilver. Yeah, like that's the only quest item that I think I always get. There's another quest item called the Great White Beast, which I mentioned is in Act 2. I don't know. This play session I already had, so I didn't go for it. But that's one's kind of optional. I don't think it's that bad. Depends on your build and if you have room for like more Quicksilver Flasks. But you can see I'm running 3 Quicksilver Flasks, no Mana Flask, because I want to go as fast as possible. And that just allows us to go. I think we got far shot, so once we lose out on that chain, it won't be that bad, though. We'll see how it kind of feels. But we're going to get some more stuff very soon. We're going to get another Ascendancy. So in the quarry over here, there's actually 2 things that we want to do. So we're going to get the waypoint, because we're going to come back here once we get the acid to get, like, modified. But there's 2 areas here. So one area is to go to, I believe, called the Foundry, and the other area is to go to the Shrine of the Winds. The Shrine of the Winds is a boss, and we can grab this, might as well. So the Shrines of the Winds is a boss, and this will give us a skill point. And this skill, or this is called, it's not the Queen of the Sands, that's the Scorpion that we will also fight. Kill this boss real quick. So how this boss works is you just kind of shoot and move. Eventually they will cloak and you won't see them. It's kind of like the StarCraft 1 cloak, though. You can still kind of technically see the target, but don't stand in the tornadoes. It does damage. It's pretty self-explanatory. Can you drop a Ring of Medellin in Diablo 4? Is it tradable? No. Uniques are not tradable. In Season 4, they will be tradable, though. So just hold on to it and you can give it to your buddy later, or if your buddy's got the item. Yeah, in Path of Exile, there's no trade restrictions at all, which is what I love about it. Like, I don't like the idea that you can't trade items. And in some games, you can only trade it once. Diablo originally had that. They said that there are going to be some items where you can only trade once, some you can always trade, and items you can never trade. But so far, there's not any items where you can only trade once. I actually wouldn't mind if they implemented that system, and the reason why is you don't get people that flip items if that happens. And that actually is a really good thing. Because the person that wants the item will always get the item that they want. And we're going to grab the feather over here. So we're gonna deliver that feather. And so now we get to go to the next area, which is the Foundry. Is it Tujin? No, it's Danig. So we don't care about it. Wow, Chisel. If you get any maps along the way, always pick those up. Here we go. So yeah, refinery, not foundry. Where can you drop it? The Ring of Metalin, I believe you can get it from the Beast and Ice. If you just Google like max roll, uber unique, or just unique cheat sheet, it'll tell you what boss drops it. Ooh, there's a 2-gen, so we can maybe get lucky and get some currency. But yeah, new update coming out tomorrow for Diablo. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so we don't care about experience. We don't care about war weapon. Quantity is good. They always inflict bleed, though. That's a little dangerous, but it's fine. Armor item, don't care. Monsters penetrate resistance. Okay, we're gonna grab this one first. We're definitely gonna want this one. They always bleed. That's fine. And then I don't really care about the last one that much. Okay. So we're gonna do this and see what we're gonna get from 2-gen. What's the difference between standard and regular? Oh, so the standard won't have the new league mechanic. So like the new bodies that drop, and you can't trade with people that aren't on the same league as you. So if you're standard and I'm like on the new like patch, well, we're not going to be able to interact and we can't play together. And there's a refresh of the economy, but does that matter? Sometimes. Alright, so now we're going to see if we can get any items from young 2-gen over here. These Volt Orbs would be quite nice to grab, so if we can grab these for cheap. Okay, so he doesn't want to sell it for that price. There's nothing really here, so we'd have to wait till we got an exotic coinage to get anything that's really good. We can maybe pick these up too. Okay, so we got some extra fusers, and those can be kind of nice to have later, but there's not really anything else good at the moment. But we're still going to do them because what we could maybe get is more currency, and then once we eventually get the rerolls, we can engage with the mechanic again and hopefully get some extra currency. So what we're doing in the refinery, we're just looking for this area over here. If you want to, you can throw up a portal. So I'm not sure where you respawn if you do die, because this area is quite hard, but I believe we're still on 0 deaths, right? Yeah, we're still at 0 deaths. So this area here, don't stand in between the lightning that will show up eventually. Level 62, so we have 4 more levels to go. So you see the lightning that goes in between, we will be considered shocked. And we'll take, right now I think it's 20% more damage. If we walk through it, yeah, it's 20. But it doesn't last that long, but it also slows you down. So you gotta watch out for it. General Adis over here. He's a pretty nasty boss, though. Ooh. But yeah, it's very easy to die to him, so don't worry if you die to him. It's not very easy. It's just because there's a slowdown on top of that. It's kind of hard to see when those lightning coils are coming down. Like, it kind of lets you know where they're going to be, but because the area is so large, you don't really get to see it all, like the whole time. There we go, we got him. And now we're going to get an item over here. So the powder is going to allow us to progress. So we can go right back into town now. So we're going to go talk to the NPC. She's going to give us a passive point. And we're going to also get the Bottled Storm.
Be careful.
So we got the Bottled Storm. We're going to pop the skill point over here. And there was some extra accuracy that I was kind of considering. There's also this thing where you can get Onslaught, which was not bad because it's like chance for Onslaught on kill. Onslaught gives you increased attack, cast, and movement speed. We can get a flask and have it automatically do it, but in the very beginning, it's really not a bad option. If we want to mess around with that, there's extra resistances and accuracy rating. And I think I want to actually get this accuracy rating node here because I don't have any pieces of gear with accuracy. This will actually give us another 500 technically here as well. It's not a bad idea, actually. Accuracy equal to int is what, like 100? Oh, it's like 42 now. We don't really have that much. I think that could be an option. Or we can get spell suppression. It's up to you on what you want. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab these. It'll also give us a little bit of resistances. And I'm going to get this, I think, later. it's not bad. It gives you evasion and armor, and I like to get a little bit of armor in our builds. Usually there's like a couple pieces of gear where you can get armor in, and it helps out a little bit with some damage reduction. But I usually go for hybrid evasion and armor bases. So now we are going to go use this bottle storm. I'm going to get rid of this over here. Oh, it's actually got good damage. Right, hold on. This actually might be more DPS. Let's actually check. We might have actually got an upgrade. So we have... Oh, well, that's an upgrade. Now, it does have some links that we can't really utilize. Like, I can't make full use out of it. But it's fine. I think it'll be alright. Now, it doesn't have all the suffixes filled, so we can actually put some suffixes here. It does a little bit more damage. The extra chain is quite nice, and you'll see the difference here. I want to show you guys the difference. So let's go ahead and go now back to the area over here. Oh, we need to go to the Vashri Desert. We unfortunately didn't get the waypoint, but it's fine. This is... Oh, okay, that's Boiling Lake. So it should be down and to the right. If you have the waypoint, obviously just use the waypoint and you'll go to the next area. So we should just be able to get there by going and hugging the right side. Here we go. And then we will go from here. It should be down and to the right. But yeah. Fortunately, we did not get the waypoint. And don't worry about getting the waypoint on that one. If you get it, that's better. I sometimes don't grab that waypoint, and the reason why is it can be super far away because the Vashri Desert is kind of a large area. But we need to go to the Oasis. Don't worry about, again, getting the waypoint. If you got it and you can go from that area to the Oasis, that's fine. There's another hideout over here. There's desert hideout if you want that. But we're just going to keep on going. And we're looking for... That's not... Is it the Forbidden Vault? No. I want the next boss area. It should be, yeah, it should be in here. Might be up and to the left. We'll see though. But that other area is for one of the mechanics for betrayal, I believe. Alright, so it's the sand pit. Yes, this is what we want. And this boss kind of needs an explanation. So you start off fighting the boss over here, which is a really cool boss. It's a girl that's like upside down as the tail on the scorpion. Is it like the same as Diablo 4? Oh yes, the difference between like standard on Path of Exile and the new league. But if you're just starting out, always play on the new league. There's way more people that play on it, and there's something newer to play around with. Usually, you'll get some sort of power upgrade, but there are items in standard that are like so crazy good that like if you do want the best of the best and you're willing to put in the time, I mean, there's no competing with some of the items in standard. Because unlike in Diablo, where like your seasonal items, they all get deleted, right? Which is a really like, it feels bad thing. Right, like the new vampiric powers that you leveled up, like you lose everything, right? They just get deleted. All the Genesis, Evernight, like those all get deleted. Like those unique stones that took you 30, 40, 50, 100 hours to farm, they're deleted. And it really does feel bad. But Path of Exile is like, nah, dude, keep your item, man, no problem. Which is very nice. Which is just, like, that's one thing I really hate with Diablo 4 is like losing out on all the progress. I mean, I'd still only would play on the newer league, I'll be honest anyways, but it's just like, I don't want my stuff to get straight up deleted, you know, like an item. Like, there's an item where if I kill something, they will explode, and it's really, really good, because it means you just kill one enemy, and they can chain explode. Oh, important thing that I actually didn't talk about, which I'll talk about in a second. So, this boss, how it works up there is you have to let it, like, kind of drag. So, you'll see these areas, and you basically drag it. I just got sidetracked talking about Diablo, and, like, the difference between standard and non-standard. But, yeah, in PoE, there's an item where, like, if you kill an enemy, it automatically guarantees explodes. And then nowadays, it's like, oh, you can get, like, a 5% or a 10% chance for the enemy to explode. There's one item that I'm praying doesn't get nerfed. It's called Impulsa, and it gives you a 100% chance. Only on lightning stuff, but, yeah, it's amazing. And it does work for our build, but it's not necessary because our clear speed is really good already. But, yeah. Just shoot and move. The boss is pretty easy, but if you stop moving, you can get kind of... You can go into the quicksand, which is kind of cool, but it's not really a mechanic that you have to worry about because our build's really good. I saw a lot of people complain about this league being super hard, and there are bosses that are definitely a lot stronger, but for the most part, I didn't notice it. Okay, so this is actually kind of important for this boss fight over here. So when you start off and you fight the boss, then it goes away. Over here, this is something that I really feel like I need to explain. So what happens is the boss will like come out of the sand and it'll attack you, and don't just run straight towards the end. You have to go over here, the boss will then follow you, and then you go over here, and then the boss will follow you. If you just rush towards the end, the boss will still be at like the other area. You kind of have to drag the boss, and you'll see its scorpion tail come out. But that's the only thing that's important right there. So now that we've done that, that will give us a skill point. And we'll talk to the NPC. It's this one that will give you the skill point. Boom. We don't need this bow anymore, so we can go ahead and just throw it over there. And see if this ring is any good. Oh, I don't really know if it's good or not. So these over here, you can check and see if these are worth anything. This we're going to list it just for like 1 chaos, because I don't have anything else to really mod it. I'd regal it, but I don't have a orb for it. So if you get any of these cluster jewels that are white, I think it's not a bad investment to just see if you can get anything good. So what I mean by that is you can get these other passives that how it works is you put in a large jewel socket, and then you can put in these things called cluster jewels that can extend your skill tree and build it out. Now the rolls on it, like this one's Unwavering Will and Wicked Paul. Someone may want this, and right now I have an item to check. You can just go to the official Path of Exile trade website and kind of look at for the added passive skill is whatever. So you can see this one over here is 50 chaos. Is this one worth it? I don't know. Let's hit search. So this one could be worth a lot. Maybe it's worth nothing. It's really hard sometimes to gauge how much an item is worth if there's only one item in the market. So there's another one for, let's say, 50. Now it's really easy to tell if there's items that is underpriced, because I can put 40 on this, and then if I have 50 people whisper me, then I would then think, oh, it's probably too cheap. And this actually has a pretty good small passive, give us 3 chaos res. It's not bad at all. So this could be worth quite a bit. But I don't know. Sometimes it's like so niche that no one wants the item. That happens as well. So, yeah, what were we getting? I think we're getting this extra accuracy, right? Yeah, because I wanted to maintain not going crit for a while, and this will just kind of help. Because then I don't have to like move around items, because we have a new bow coming up that we can use. So let's go ahead and continue. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the quarry, because we just got the skill point, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to Sin, and he will open this thing up. That's after we get the item from that boss that had the little lightning. It's just that we might as well get the skill point now because it's worth it. But she's on. How you doing? Path of Exile is what's up right now. We're just going through the campaign, getting towards the end, ready to do some end game and see the brand new bosses. Sometimes the bosses can be an absolute face roll, and sometimes the bosses can be quite difficult. I remember in Scourge the new bosses were absolutely a face roll sometimes, and sometimes if there's too many mods, yeah, they'll just one-shot you. So. We'll see if it drops anything good. But right now, everything is kind of too hard. They even mentioned in their patch notes that they said they're going to be nerfing some of the monsters. But right now, I mean, I'm not feeling that the monsters are too hard. I'm just feeling like the rewards for the new league are so memes that, one, they're only usable at the end, which makes it so for people leveling up, well, you don't get any power. Last league was just way better, I'm going to be honest, but don't let that discourage you from playing the game. Path of Exile is still an amazing, amazing game, and there's still much fun to have. It's just, do you want to engage in the new league mechanic or not, the new seasonal mechanic? There are a few new items to play around with too. So we're going from Belly of the Beast to the Rotting Core, and we're actually going to have to kill some bosses. So I'm going to grab this, get some extra resistance. I think we're almost already max on res, so it's not going to be something super amazing now. But we're going to get some extra spell suppression as well. What are we? 3 levels away, so by the time we complete the game, we're usually going to be about level 70. So now we're in the Black Core. So what he's going to do is going to open up this, and there's going to be 3 bosses that we fight, and there are actually going to be some familiar faces, as you will see very soon. So if you guys remember that character with the Venn diagram, she has came back alive. You heard T17 is harder than Uber's? Yeah, I've seen like the people upload, like they just walk in and they're instantly dead in 1 hit, and like, you know, that's just not fun, you know, in terms of gameplay. Like, to be honest, I feel like I really do respect the team that makes this game, but a lot of this stuff is just straight up untested, man. Like, straight up. Like, there's no way you play the Arch Nemesis League before they nerfed it like 10 times, right? Like, there's no way you could walk in and just be like, yeah, dude, that seems totally fine. This monster that teleports instantly to you and kills you in 1 hit. Like, I could understand if the boss charges up and has a giant slam, a punch, or whatever, and then you can dodge it. But if it just teleports to you and one-shots you, like, what are you actually supposed to do? You know, that's just a little bit overkill. Oh, make a portal before you fight Dodri. I know we haven't died, but this boss has a scream that does an insane amount of damage. Hopefully we can kill her before she screams. Oh, there's the scream. So make sure when she does that, you pop a flask, because it does a huge amount of damage. You can see we're almost dead. And if you ever need to refill your flask, just go back to town, and then go right back in, and all of your flasks will be right on top. And we'll also get the extra arrows soon. You can drop the volley and then run something else. Give us even more damage. Oh, there's the shout again. Remember, you gotta pop your flasks. Now once any of these bosses die, they'll make a portal to go back to this little hub thing, and again, you gotta kill all 3 of them. It's the ones that we killed before when we got the organs. They all came back. It's just like Goku. The bosses always come back. Philogene, how you doing? Shooting and moving. Oh, he's already halfway gone. That's quite fast. Can't wait to see how much more damage we get with the other bow, and if we remove the volley support and throw in another one, man, our damage is going to be insanely good. And sometimes for like 5 to 10 chaos, you can get like a really bad 6 link. We'll see if we can get one. Usually for 10 chaos orbs, you can get a pretty decent corrupted 6 link. A 6 link is like kind of like the end game goal for like a max DPS, because we're not going to get what I actually want, which is a Hyri's Ire, which is a chest piece that gives us almost another like link, and it gives us insane amount of spell suppression. Really, really good stuff indeed. Shoot and move. This is the one that has the books come out, where she has a giant like ball, and it does pretty good damage, but it's not that hard to dodge because you get to see her make the ball. You see how she like makes the ball, and it's like kind of slow. So this is like fair. If that one shot at me, I wouldn't even be mad, because like it's my fault. But like there are certain times where certain things are way overtuned in this game. Boss at? She disappear? Oh, she's right there. There you go. There we go. And now that we have defeated all these, we go to talk to Sin, and he'll open up a combined boss. So now we just fought 3 bosses. It's kind of like the same boss that we fought before. Now this is actually the new boss. So this is the Deprived Trinity. It's basically the boss from Devil May Cry 2. It's all of the bosses combined. It's like the Megazord. Now it looks like we can have 4. But this is going to be using some of the moves from multiple bosses, so it's supposed to be harder. Ooh, we got pretty low over there, but it looks like we're coming back. We've made it. It's almost gone. It's kind of a long boss fight, I'll be honest. Okay, there we go. It's very important that you don't use a portal scroll here, because I've done it before. You actually need to talk to the NPCs. But I thought we could go back and it'd be faster, but you actually have to talk to Lily. It has to be over here. There was one time where I made a portal, and you have to kill all the bosses again if you don't do that. So you can't just like lure back in town and hope that you can talk to the NPC. It has to be from there. And now we have actually finished Act 9. And we have one more act, and then we will be finished with the campaign. And then we're going to be on to the end game. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed Part 9, Act 9. Like I said, these are going to get pretty short. Act 10 isn't really super long either. But anyways, drop a like your way out. I'll see you guys in the final part of the campaign, the next one.